Test to see if it's going. All right. All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises going honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at your spirit with a quick lesson on spiritual powers. And I just came across this little anime clip on TikTok, and it kind of struck me as how we may be busting into their bunkers in the world to come, and how they're gonna be using all these different types of weapons on us, and they're just not gonna work. Okay, and that's gonna start on this side. The Lord is gonna start giving us powers on this side. All right, because as you know, as Esau, brings in this system, he's going to come in like a flood. And let's just get that. I didn't even have that. All right, so we're just going to get that real quick to start off with. Then we're going to play this video because the Lord is definitely going to lift up a standard, and that standard is going to be spiritual powers. Okay? He's going to give his men spiritual powers, not the women, but his sincere elect. He's going to give them spiritual powers. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west to the east, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Okay, and the hymn is talking about Esau, Edom. Okay, and the verse in particular is talking about the Israelites. So when the enemy comes in like a flood, okay, they're coming in against the Israelites. Okay, and it says when they do that, the Lord is going to lift up a standard. Okay, so it says to flee, escape, to flee, to escape, to take flight, to disappear, to fly, to attack on horseback. Okay, so to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause to disappear. So we're gonna either be able to flee or we're gonna be able to fight back and drive the enemy away. So it's gonna be one of those two. All right. So
Strong's H 5127. Noose. All
right. So noose. So that is going to be a standard that the Lord is going to lift up for his men. All right. So I want to play this quick video, and then we're going to get into some examples in the scriptures where the Lord has said, hey, I'm going to give you power. All right. So let's play this TikTok. And I'm going to invoke the copyright disclaimer for fair use. I do not intend to profit off of this in any way, form, or fashion. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I can use this film for critique, criticism, commentary, and education. So fair use has been invoked. So with that, without further ado, I'm gonna play this video. You see that? So, he basically just bust right in on him. And that's exactly how we gonna be. We just gonna bust right in on them. Okay? What just happened? No, they just switched my video. The heck? It ain't let me go back. This is not what I had up just a second ago. But I wanted to play it back one more time. Yeah, it's this one. And we can turn the volume off, but as you can see, he just flying on in there, you know. Why is this here? What is going on? So yeah, he just flying on in there. They shooting everything they got at him: missiles, lasers, heavy artillery. They shooting whatever they can at him, and he's not deflecting it. He's just running right into it, and it's just having no effect on him whatsoever. You know, and it's like not super OP like you would think. You know, he just casually rolling in there like, as a matter of fact, you ain't stopping me. And then he bulldozes his way all the way down to the bottom to where the nobles are. Okay, he you know, so that reminds me of Isaiah 54. Yeah, Isaiah 54. It says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Right. So when the Lord, when the Lord gives us these spiritual powers and lift up that standard, their weaponry is not going to work on us. Their technology is not going to be, it's going to be ineffective. Now, some of us are going to be put into flight mode. Some of us may be put to death in their camps. Some of us may escape their camps, you know, and the Lord may get us up out of there. Some of us, maybe hit the guillotine, but some of us are going to get spiritual powers. Okay. We're going to get power. All right. And we're going to be able to do super fantastic things, and their weaponry is not going to have any effect on us. So, you know, we're going to be moving like this. We're going to be moving just like this. Like, my man was literally freaking almost, you see how far of a distance he was away, and he just pretty much just flew there like nothing. And they're shooting him with all their weaponry. And look at all these explosions and stuff. And he's so far away that these explosions aren't having it. You can see the wind blowing, but it's not having a catastrophic effect on the people behind him. And he just flowing right into their main operation base. See how many floors down that is? He just went right to where they are. Like, and that's how we gonna be kicking in their doors. And ain't no weapon formed against us that they create is gonna prosper. All right, they're not gonna be able to use their technology to hurt the men of the Lord. All right, it says, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the saints of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. So the Lord is going to give us spiritual powers. Okay, your weaponry is not going to work on us at all, and everybody that tried to condemn those, you're going to be condemned. Okay, so there's going to be a lot that's about to happen. And when Jacob's trouble kick off, there's going to be a lot of other things that's going to kick off too. And like Elder Malcolm has said, and I agree with the elder when he said this. Okay, he said that in one of his videos, that he believes that the reason why Esau ain't hit the button yet is because he knows that when Esau hit the button, the Lord gonna hit the button and activate his men. It's not that, and that's not something that Esau wants. Okay, so he's not coming to put his hands on the men of the Lord yet because he's afraid that the Lord gonna lift up that standard. Esau know the scriptures. He know how this story go. You know, how do you know how the story go, but you're still compelled to follow the script? That's because no one can resist the will of the Lord. All right. How can you know the script and you're still compelled to follow it? You think in your feeble mind that you're changing the script by the things that you're doing, but you're in compliance with it. Okay, you absolutely are complying with everything that the script say you're going to do. You're doing that, and trying not to do it. All right. Like right now, how America and Israel is being hated by the world. And at one time you would say to yourself, damn, America has domination over the whole entire earth. How the hell is the beast gonna hate the whore? If America is ruling the whole entire world, well, now we see how. Now we see how. These people that are dying in Gaza, now you know a little side note. This is lessons within lessons. These people that are in Gaza right now that are being killed, like was it Atrazera, that media group that was completely bombed and killed. Every single last one of them were killed, so nobody was able to report. I mean, you know, ironically, they say they were killed. All of the reporters were killed, but somebody reported that they were killed. But you know, that's another story. But they're saying that uh, um, Israel killed all those people, so those reporters. So there's no more reporting on what's happening in Gaza, right? But from what some people are able to deduce, these people are murdering millions of people, man. Like the death count is up there, okay? And they're just ethnic cleansing everything over there in Gaza, okay? And the world knows about it, and America is complicit in this, okay? So the world is hating America too, and because of all of the other shit like the sanctions and the rise and inflation and all that stuff. So the world is hating America. So now we're seeing how the beast system that's already set up is starting to hate the whore that sits on many waters. So going back to what I was originally saying, they think that they're avoiding the script, but they're following the script to a T. Okay, because this is the Lord's movie. This is his prophecy. All right. So, you know, the weapons that you're going to have, they're not going to prosper against the men of the Lord. It's just not going to happen. All right. So, got another precept about to pull. Okay, so, this is what this kind of reminded me of seeing that scene. I was thinking like, oh man, Psalms 149. That's what that sounded like, or looked like to me. How we gonna be kicking in their doors is deep, deep underground. You know, we may not even kick in the doors. We might just come in right through the top and just crack the earth open. You know, just crack the earth open. All that stuff that they built, all of those things that they did, we just crack it open with a thought, and all of them are exposed like a damn ant hive. You know, this is Psalms 149 and 5. It says, "Let the saints be joyful and glory. Let them sing aloud in their beds." And this is going to be real singing. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth. Because we're going to be praising the Lord for all the things he's done and will do for us. With a two-edged sword in their hand, a literal two-edged sword, not a figurative one, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. And those are all of the other nations. Okay? And punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, because they enslaved us, man. They use this capitalistic system that is ran off of slavery to enrich their nations. Okay? And if you really understood what a dollar is, and you understood that it was an instrument of debt, okay? Let me see. You know what? Quick precept just came into mind. I'm gonna go get that. So say this. That's another one. All right, this is Proverbs 22. 22 and 7. It says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender." Okay? Now you have to understand something. if the currency is a debt-based note, okay? Think about this. If the currency is a debt-based note, which means the currency is based off debt, which means it was borrowed. You're using borrowed currency to pay your debts. The scriptures say that the borrower is a servant to the lender. We're all slaves, man. They've turned this society into a slave society. When you go to work every day, all right, you're trading your labor for debt notes, not real substance. These are instruments of debt. Okay, so you're trading your labor for instruments of debt. Okay, and you do it over and over and over and over and over again, and then you have to pay taxes on this shit too. What is that? That's a goddamn slave. You have to do it until you die. That raising the retirement age. You only get 20 years of rest after working for 40, 50 years of your goddamn life. Come on now, get out of here. All right? You're a slave, man. You're a debt slave. You're going to work until there's no more life in you. Okay? Just because it's going, you put the word debt in front of it doesn't make it any less a slave. You are a slave. You're taking your ass to work every damn day to make these Federal Reserve notes paper, and you're not giving no real substance. You're not giving land for your labor 30 years and you don't get no land. You work for this company for 30 years. Back then, like when Jacob worked for Laban, he worked for him first 7 years. He got one daughter. Second 7 years, he got the other daughter, and women were worth money back then. And then on top of that, he got a whole flock of calves, and substance and riches when he came up out of there, right? For all of his labor that he worked for this man. Those are real tangible things that you can use. That was real wealth. They give you Federal Reserve fucking notes. You are a slave. Okay? You are indeed a slave. So when we go back to this Psalms right here, and it says to execute vengeance upon the heathen, they enslaved us, man. In all different types of ways throughout the centuries, man. So all of them had a hand in putting us in slavery and enriching their nations based off of the backs and labors of the Israelites. Okay? It says, and punishments upon the people. Because they need to get punished for the shit that they've done and continue to do. They steal all the ideas of Jake. They take all of Jake's ideas and innovations and call it theirs. They steal it from him. Okay? That's what these people do. They don't give no account for your labor. So we're going to be busting in their doors. All right? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Okay? So those rich men that are in the clefts of the rocks, you know the precept in the book of Revelation. All right? When we bust open them underground cities and start yanking their asses up out of there, okay? We're going to have those spiritual powers and those spiritual bodies. And we're going to pass judgment on those people. We're going to bind them in fetters of irons because they got underground cities, man. I'm talking about cities that can hold 1 million people plus in different parts of the earth. With generators that run all day, air purifiers, LED sunrises and shit like that. Okay? They got underground cities. So it's going to be a lot of people ready left to snatch up, and there's going to be people be on the surface. All right? So they're going into hardcore slavery with those spiritual powers we going to have. And ain't going to be nothing that they can do. All right? Yeah. This is John 14:12. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall also do. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Not only are we out right now standing on the highways and the byways and on the internet preaching this word, which is a miracle within itself, that we can actually be chanting down the nation that has us enslaved while still in the nation. Okay? But we're going to have spiritual powers to do the things that Yahweh Shai did. What Yahweh Shai did? And what did he do? He was able to teleport. He was able to heal people. Okay? He was able to transmutate things from one element into another. Like he was able to change water into wine. Okay? So he was able to do a whole bunch of different things. And he's saying that we're going to have these power too. And greater power than that. All right? Samson had a super strength. King David had it all. Super strength, speed. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's just go to that. This is not. I don't think this is it. Oh, here it is. It says, "For who is Yahweh, save the Lord? Who is our rock, save our power?" It says, it is Yahweh that girdeth me with strength and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet and setteth me upon my high place. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arm. Okay? Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and the right hand hath holden me up, and thy right hand had holden me up, and thy gentleness had made me great. Okay? So King David was able to do some super fantastic things. Bend iron, climb walls, jump walls. You know, when you go here, that's not it. It's like it. It's over here somewhere. This is Zechariah 12. It says, "In that day the Lord shall in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord, as the angel of the Lord before them." You see that? So yeah, the we gonna be and I'm gonna continue on because in verse 9 it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem." Okay, so all of these nations, and there's every nation, they come against the children of Israel. Okay, so the Lord said in that day He's going to defend us, which that day is upon us, and the most feeble among us is going to be like King David, and the house of Israel is going to be as God. We're going to be doing greater works than Yahweh Shai. Okay, and all of us are going to be like the weakest of us is going to be like David. Okay. So, we're gonna be busting in, you know, like my man here. Just straight just busting in. None of their weapons are gonna work on us. None of their technology is gonna be of effect. I mean, we're literally gonna have the power to control the elements. Little bright burns, X-Men, whatever you want to call us. So when you see animes like this, when you see they're just depicting what they imagine the elect to be like when we have spiritual powers. Okay, when the Heavenly Father grants us those powers from on high. All right, and when those things happen, man, that's when your nightmare is going to begin. All right, when you start realizing that those men that you oppressed really were the children of Israel, and they start putting, like the scriptures say, I should take vengeance upon the heathen. Let's just get that real quick, and we'll close on that. Mm. Yeah, there it is. Don't seem like I can find what I'm looking for. All right, well, I guess I can quote it, but basically, I can't remember the precept. It's not coming to me, but it's something like, "I will take vengeance upon the heathen with the hands of at the hands of the children of Israel," or something like that. And that's what's coming. All right. So with that, I pray this is an edifying lesson. Until next time, I say shalom.